Is there anything that would disqualify him from your vote?
Hell, keep impeaching him. I mean, keep indicting him. The more you indict him, the more you show how desperately you do not want him in there, the more I want him there.
And why is that? What is it that gives you that fuel from the indictment?
Because they're they're ridiculous. They're jokes. We should have paper ballots. We should have one day to go in and vote. And if you don't have the time to go vote, why are you even in this country?
Don't you want more people to vote?
I want more legal residents to vote, sure.
Right, but if, let's say someone's working 2 jobs, they have to pick their kids up at school and they can't get there to vote on the one day because it's not I know you want it to be a holiday, but as it is now, and I think a lot of people would agree with you, as it is now, it's not. So isn't expanding voter access important?
Expanding voter access is critically important, but, and I will say this, we've proven to ourselves that we can't be trusted. We've proven it.
How?
Look at the 2020 election. I was a single working mom. 2 kids. My first husband was deployed constantly overseas. And you know what? I made it a priority to be there to vote on voting day.
Right, but wouldn't it have been easier? I'm just asking, wouldn't it have been easier if there were 4 days where you could go in with the same...
You know, I'm sure it wasn't easy for those guys that died in the Revolutionary War. And I'm sure
Nothing, but I think that they probably fought for...
The least that you can do is show up and vote. For people that have died, so no, I don't buy that. That to me is a joke. If you care about freedom, if you care about...
Well, did they care about freedom?
Absolutely, they died for it.
They were slave owners.
Oh my gosh. So, you know...
No, I'm asking, that's why...
You really want to know who the original slave owners are? I mean, let's talk about the human condition.
I'm just asking. So like out of one side, you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, they believed in freedom.
Slave owners even get into it.
Well, because freedom, that's what I'm talking about. They believed in freedom. We're in Charleston, right? This was the biggest port in America at that time for the slave trade. So I'm asking, when you say that they believed in freedom, you know, it's a little hypocritical historically, is it not?
Absolutely. Have you read history? I mean, like, let's talk about the Jewish folks. They were slaves for how many thousands of years? Christians were slaves forever.
We can talk about, there are many.
But let's go back. Our founding fathers were indentured servants. Most of them were fleeing the British rule because they were slaves themselves. So I don't buy this whole, you know, it's a challenge and slavery. Listen, the only reason why people are talking about race now, people are talking about slavery now, tell me one person here who has in one generation been a slave to anybody.
Nobody is. I'm not talking about the founding fathers. I didn't bring them up. I was just asking because you brought up freedom. They believed in freedom.
They did.
So I asked. Yeah.
And they did.
Okay.
And they got it.
Excellent.
Whoop.